Hi, this is Andy Scott with North Shore Apartments and Condos. We're walking into 510 5th Street in Wilmette, number M3. This is a really nice one bedroom. And as we walk in, you can see there's a little entry area. It's probably about 10 feet by 3.5 feet or 3 feet. Beyond the entry area, you can see the living room, which has some built-in shelves, a big closet, and windows facing west, I believe. Before we get there, however, we have an entry closet, which is a smaller closet. I'll show you the floor so you can see the dimensions. About 2 feet across by about 15 inches deep. It has a hanging bar, a couple of hooks, 2 shelves, and its own light fixture. And as we walk into the apartment, it's important to note that this is the way the tenant left it. The tenant recently moved out, not just like yesterday, but very recently moved out. And so we haven't got it painted or cleaned yet. So here's the living room. It's a long living room. It's probably about 10 feet wide by maybe 14 feet long. Actually a pretty good size. And there are sconces on the walls. And again, you see the radiator and radiator cover on the left side by the windows. The built-in shelves. We get just a glimpse of the bath, which we will check out later. And we'll check out the big closet in just a second. But here are the windows. And again, there's a dining room between the living room and the kitchen. Nice hardwood floors. I know you wanted to see the view out the window. It is into the courtyard, which is facing west. Today is a very great day. I'm not sure if we're picking up the little snowflakes that are coming down, but it is a great day. On a sunnier day, you would get enormous natural light. Big living room closet. Again, we have whoops, sorry about that. Its own light fixture, 3 shelves. It has its own window even, so we have a closet with a view. If we look at the floor, we can see it's at least 6 feet long by 2 feet wide. So it's a nice big closet. Actually, I'm going to step in the closet and just sort of go back at the apartment. So you see the entry area where we came in, and to the left you see the dining room, just a sliver of, and a portion of the kitchen. So that's what I'm going to walk towards now. Oops, shut the living room closet. Now the dining room and the kitchen are separated by its own French door. So you see this door with the window panes. Very cool. And the dining room, I wouldn't call it a formal dining room. It's a little smaller than that. It's probably 10 by 8, something like that. 10 by 7. So it's not a huge dining room, but certainly big enough for a 4 or 6 person table. So I'm just going to look back so you can sort of see the size of it. You have 2 closets. The closets are small, but very ornamentative. I think they're really cool, and I'll check those out right now. You can see a sliver of the kitchen to the left. So sorry about the focus. Every time the light changes, it takes the camera a second to catch up. So you can see the shelves on the left closet. And again, the tenant has actually left the can of pledge, which we will remove. The tenant also tried to patch the walls, which we will clean up. So there is some spackle marks on the walls. We're going to repaint. Don't let that worry you. The right closet also has shelves. Probably, I don't know, about 2 by 2. So it's a smaller closet, but super to look at. I've closed the door and you can see the living room from the dining room. And if we go back, we see the radiator by the windows. These windows are facing north, and you don't get much of a view. You do get pretty consistent light, but you're facing the condominium next to you. So, and the condominium does have some balconies. They don't really line up with these windows. And underneath you see there's parking, but not for this building. So one last look at the dining room. And you do have a light fixture. And then we'll go over to the kitchen. Kitchen is black appliances, so it's hard to film, and then you have the cherry finish on the cabinets, but you actually have a lot of cabinet space, a full-size stove, stainless steel sink, more storage underneath the granite countertop, tiled floors. The back door goes down to laundry. You do have a radiator for the kitchen, and you have a fridge that's probably about 5 feet 7 inches tall, so it's a little bit smaller, and some storage above the fridge. So let's start by looking at the fridge. Okay, so not very clean, but we will clean it for you. The fridge was new maybe a year or two ago, so we'll clean up nicely. And inside, again, we have more of the same. But again, the tenant has only recently moved out. And well, she was a great tenant. I mean, she's left it in good enough shape for me to feel comfortable showing you this video. So that speaks highly. Full-size stove. Now, the stove here, it needs to be cleaned, but B, it's a little harder to open because of the placement of the fridge. So I'm not sure what we can do to address that, really. Stainless steel sink. Water pressure in this building's terrific. There you go. Drains beautifully. Underneath is nice and dry and can be used as storage. And while I'm bent over, I'm going to show you the underneath storage, because it's much deeper than the cabinets on top. So you can put your appliances and your pots and pans, that kind of thing, down here. And we, of course, will clean this out before we hand it off. Again, we have granite countertops. You see her keys are still here. A couple of outlets along the walls. And there's a really nice tile backsplash all the way around, which will make it very easy to keep clean. So I think that's really nice. The cabinets, these are big cabinets. So these would be 3-foot cabinets, which is much bigger than in most apartments. The shelves are probably only about 10 inches deep. Again, the cherry finish on the outside, more of a maple finish on the inside. And I'll show you these cabinets as well. Whoops-a-daisy, more of the same. And the cabinets are new enough so they still reflect enough light for the camera to get out of focus. Those are 1-foot cabinets, and that's probably 1.5 feet or 15 inches. Again, the tile backsplash. The only issue with this kitchen is opening the stove door, which can be done, just not quite as easily. Again, good cabinet space below, lots of stainless steel sink, back door leading to the laundry, and the radiator. So we walk out of the kitchen, through the dining room, and I'll just give you one more look at the kitchen in its kind of its totality, if you will, so you get a real feel for it. And the tile floors. Come across the dining room into a pretty big living room. Closet and shelves. And before we get to the bedroom, we see the bath and what is, I think, a linen closet in front of us, and it is. So we're starting to feel like there's a lot of closets in this apartment. A couple of them are decorative more than functional, although they can all be used. That is a great linen closet right there. The bath is a standard vintage bath. Basic commode, pedestal sink, mirror and medicine cabinet, nice light fixture right above the mirror. That gives plenty of light. Again, Every room has a radiator. These are the original tiles, but they're in great shape. The faucets, the handles, and again, you can see she's left some stuff here, so none of this has been cleaned, but we will clean it. The tub is a little bit dirty. And there's her back brush, which we probably won't leave for you either. But you see two sets of handles. The bottom set is for the tub faucet, and the top set is for the shower head. The shower head's about 5'10". So if you're 6'4" or something, you're gonna have problems. So I'm gonna start with the bottom, just to show that we have good water pressure. Everything drains beautifully. Then I'll shut that down and go with the shower head, or shower. And we can see that it's coming out a little sporadically out of that shower head, which I already knew, which is why I showed you the first thing first. So we'll change the shower head and we'll get the shower pressure to be what it's supposed to be. Oops-a-daisy. So that should not be a concern. And of course we need to clean everything. Nice pedestal sink. Again, if you're an apartment geek, these original tiles are cool. For most people, they're just old, but I think they're pretty cool. Again, showing you good water pressure. So getting that shower right is not going to be a challenge at all. The light fixtures, that's huge light, which for a mirror is important. And if we open up the mirror, we can see a couple of like alcohol and hydrogen peroxide, and a little bit of spackle they use to try to clean things up, which we will of course complete for them. And there's an example of the spackle again. So there you have it. Whoops-a-daisy. So let me stand outside and show you the bath as best I can. And the radiator. So that brings us to the bedroom. Bedroom is big enough for a queen size bed. I don't think you could get a king size bed in here. I'd say it's probably about 11 by 9.5 or 11 by 9. See the radiator in the corner? We do have a ceiling fan in here, which is nice. I forgot to open up the windows. Shame on me. But again, we are looking north to the condominium next to us. And I'll set that down there. And walk in, and this is no different. Whoops-a-daisy. And you see the parking below, and basically just bricks. But there are a couple windows, but everybody has their blinds or screens down. Hardwood floors. I'm going to stand in the middle of the room and just look back. And I think the camera work was a little pitiful there, and I apologize for that. But you can see it's just basically a bedroom with a closet. Again, we have good closet space here. Let's see if I better put a light on in here. Oh, really, a light bulb. So that thing right in front of us, that gives us access to the plumbing for the tub. That's why there's a cutout there. You can see by the floor space, it's probably about 4 by 2.5 or 3, so it's pretty good size. Hanging bar, 3 shelves, couple of hooks, and if we get a light bulb in there, you'll have a light fixture. So it's a nice bedroom. I like this apartment a lot. It's not huge. I would say it's less than 700 square feet. Probably more like 650 if we take out the realtor BS. But there's a lot of closet space. Quite a bit of natural light. So now we have to adjust to that light. Great view out the front. Super location. You're a block away from the Purple Line, the northernmost Purple Line CTA station at 4th and Linden. You can get parking there as well. Super clean, super quiet area. And I love this separation of space here. So you can close this off and make it an at-home office or exercise room, which is probably what I would do. Just a very cool space. And you don't walk right into the living room. You have an entry, which I feel like is just a little bit more elegant or sophisticated. So that brings us, I'm going to turn around one last time. Whoops-a-daisy. So you can sort of see the living room from the entry, which back to the right is the dining room and the kitchen. And over by the shelves is the entry to the bath, the linen closet, and the bedroom. Which brings us back to the front door. I appreciate your watching. Thank you.